And the deck, in plain numbers, is stark and stacked. A new report for the Economic Policy Institute found that U.S. employers spend more than $1.5 billion annually fighting unionization efforts, with hundreds of millions going to union avoidance consultants, law firms, and litigation during organizing drives. According to the report, employers spend roughly $442 million each year on union avoidance consultants alone, while companies like Amazon spent $26.6 million in 2025 on anti-union consultants. EPI senior policy analyst Margaret Poydock argued that this is millions or even billions of dollars that's not going toward workers and investing into their workplace. The report ties these expenditures to the long-term decline of union density in the U.S., which has fallen from 20.3% in 1983 to just 10% today, even as public approval of unions approaches 70%. The report describes how corporations use specialized law firms and consultants to delay elections, intimidate workers, and resist first contracts. The law firm Littler Mendelson, which has represented companies including Starbucks and Amazon, was cited for lobbying against labor-friendly legislation while advising corporations on anti-union strategies. Poydock said these law firms are exploiting loopholes and weaknesses in our federal labor law, while co-author Teak Wiggin argued that employers already hold enormous power over workers and that union-busting campaigns magnify that imbalance. The report also noted that employers are charged with violating labor law in 41.5% of union elections, and that workers wait an average of 465 days to secure a first contract. Wiggins said employers who refuse neutrality agreements are choosing to try to bend the will of workers who are seeking to exercise their rights to free association. Nonetheless, we have the broader context of reviewed labor activism in the U.S. Despite declining union membership, workers continue organizing at companies like Amazon and Starbucks, while polls show strong public support for unions and union-backed workplace protections. Labor advocates argue that aggressive anti-union spending reflects corporate fear of workers gaining greater bargaining power over wages, scheduling, safety, and automation. So those pesky employers just won't give up that easily. More than 1,700 unionized workers at a Cargill beef plant in Fort Morgan, Colorado were locked out after overwhelmingly rejecting the company's contract proposal. Workers represented by Teamsters Local 455 voted down the deal by 85%, arguing the offer failed to keep pace with inflation and ignored concerns about wages, health care, and working conditions. Teamsters Representative Dean Modiker criticized the company, saying, quote, "This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, yet we can't get $1 an hour raise?" Writers also reported worker complaints about unsafe and degrading conditions, including claims that people are urinating in their pants because they're not allowed to go to the bathroom. Cargill defended the proposal as fair, but the dispute has become another flashpoint in the broader struggle between corporate profits and labor conditions in the meatpacking industry. And developers behind Magic the Gathering Arena are accusing Wizards of the Coast of launching an anti-union campaign after workers moved to unionize with the CWA. According to Kotaku, company leadership sent employees letters urging them to think twice before supporting the union, warning that unionization could damage the company's direct working relationship with leadership. Workers and labor advocates criticized the message as classic union-busting rhetoric, designed to spread misinformation and sow fear among our colleagues. The organizing effort grew out of anger over layoffs, return-to-office mandates, workload pressures, and concerns about AI and game development. Workers said recent decisions by WOTC and Hasbro leadership have not aligned with the values of their employees, and union supporters claim they already have the support from roughly 75% of eligible staff.